Nigeria currently has around 202 trillion cubic feet of proven gas reserves and about 600 trillion cubic feet of unproven gas reserves. And according to the country chair of Shell, Osage Ogumbo, harnessing these vast gas resources and on time too is key in the next decade of Nigeria's existence. Hello there, welcome to Business Daily on Trust TV. On today's edition of the program, we will be focusing on Africa's first energy transition plan launched in Nigeria by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, which is expected to end energy poverty and also give electricity to over 19 million people. I will be joined by Adetayo Adegbenle, the convener Power Up Nigeria, an electric consumer rights advocacy group, and he will be speaking to some of the targets that we have seen in the energy transition plan. We saw the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. He was in the United States to speak about issues around how Nigeria can get it right, especially in transitioning to cleaner energy, talking about how a lot of Nigerians want to see power to run their homes and also run their businesses. The SME sector has been tagged the engine room of the Nigerian economy. How then can this business is efficiently run if power supply is not constant? Now, the energy transition plan is also expected to address that challenge. There's also the part of infrastructure. What infrastructure does Nigeria have on ground to support this transition? And also funding issues were also raised in the transition plan. I will be joined by my guest later on in the program to discuss some of the highlights of the plan. Remember, I am your host on the program, Christiana Amodu Otinya. I'll hold my horses here, take a short break. When I return, the conversation will kickstart and we will talk business. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for still staying there with us on the program. This is Business Daily on Trust TV. Let's take a look at some of the key takeaways from the launch of the energy transition plan, talking about what does this transition plan really contain. Now, Nigeria would need to spend about $410 billion above business as usual spending to deliver its transition plan by 2060, which translates to about $10 billion per year. Now, average of $3 billion per year investment in renewable energy recorded for the whole of Africa between 2000 and 2020 will certainly not suffice. That's according to Nigeria's Vice President. Engaging with partners to secure initial $10 billion support package ahead of the COP27 along the lines of the South African Just Energy Transition Partnership announced at the COP26 in Glasgow. World Bank is supposed to support with over $1.5 billion towards the energy transition plan on renewable energy, on power sector reforms, on clean cooking, and wherever opportunities arise. That's according to the country director of the World Bank, Shubham Chaudhry. Now, the U.S. Exim Bank is to provide a $1.5 billion financing package after talks are concluded. The current lack of power hurts livelihoods and destroys the dreams of hundreds of millions of young people. The mission aims to provide electricity to almost 90 million people currently without power. Nigeria is relying on gas as a transition fuel to provide electricity. Now, the strategy hopes to generate 340,000 work opportunities by 2030 and 840,000 by the year 2060. Adetayo, let me bring you in here now. I know you have seen the energy transition plan, and this sector is largely your turf, talking about the power sector. You've also written articles, written paper on how to transform the power sector because we have seen a myriad of challenges facing the sector. I want to hear your thoughts on the energy transition plan that was launched recently by the Vice President.
Well, that was a very ambitious, very looking at environment, how far we are from Nigeria has taken a very good are taking the lead in just like I said, that is a very ambitious. I completely agree to you.
I also want you to speak to the gains of this energy transition plan, because for many we hear a lot of policies come on board. We hear that Nigeria is working on this, working on that. For many, they really care about how this energy can get to them, how it can help them run their activities, run their businesses. For Nigerians, what will be the gain of transitioning into this plan, and especially on the back of the fact that largely this is going to work on the gas resources of the country?
Well, one thing that should be noted is the fact that fulcrum for is the availability of which is the natural resources we have in Nigeria. Also put into consideration, we have solar there, we have the plant. The transition is a very ambitious plan because transition is very wide range of energy. So again, you see, this is why we should look at it from issues that we're having worldwide today. Because the Russian war as we speak right now, because we all see of Russia cutting off gas from you on inflation, on energy bill. Nigeria setting, we're not just looking at buying power, creating jobs with terms of achieving the ambition that the world especially the plans are made at 2015. It's supposed to be 2020 plan. But later it was how cool is without the factors of clean cooking, especially not as far as a lot of people, don't think. We are looking at migrating from the charcoal to gas to using stove. Importation is part of the plan. Migrating away from the oil to at 60% electric vehicle by 2060. So again, is very wide. It is that's another thing we should take into consideration. So then I will say this. Let me also add this. I'm also impressed. The federal government didn't wait. Seven that's coming up in Egypt decided to swing into action. Knowing definitely, I mean, $10 per annum, $10 billion.
10 billion.
Investment. They're the kind of investment that we and definitely change the economy. So again, you see, when we want to say something, I would say history. It is ambitious.
Adetayo, I hear you say ambitious, ambitious, ambitious. And I have heard you say this word over and over and over again. For some people, when they hear that the plan is ambitious, they begin to read signs that it might not be feasible. Is that your stance? And if that's your stance, what are some of the factors do you think we need to put in place in terms of getting the house in order before we get to that time? Because 2060 might look like donkey years, but then again, time moves very, very fast.
Very fast, yes. I can't use that word ambitious. There's something I was saying. We need We need, people that fire that can give us big dreams. And again, if you look at Nigeria, it's not as if we don't have paper. It's not as if we don't policies. When you read somebody like, wow, we have been, the first energy plant that we're going to have million. Even this government, we have a situation where power works for came up with the energy of in this thing, right? Why minister came on board? Everybody was just being free. So that's why I kept using that shield. It is definitely something how will Nigeria achieve, We have the pledges. For instance, I'm going to speak major problems that we have in our policy implementation. What do we do to make sure that people in place as the policy? For instance, look at the issue of the you don't CEO for your. You don't just say because or is our chairman's friend. You put out the work at the antecedents. Sometimes you do anyone, you look at the antecedents and you say, okay, Mr. S is our plan. What is your plan? And you some opinion. You let them, do they have similar dreams? I don't know if you are following. So it's not just for us to all these papers together, right? For us to look at, how reform individuals in position to implement.
Adetayo,
Assure them your plan. This is like now factor will be in the hindrance building. Then remove those hindrances.
Adetayo,
See
let me
how
quickly come in here, still sticking with what you're talking about. Still sticking with the issue of the administrative power play you're speaking about now. Do you think that has been a major challenge in the power sector development we have seen over the years? Because you talked about putting the right people in the right places to man the right offices. And when you talk about the right people, I believe you want to speak about stakeholders that are aware of how things run in the sector. Because when people hear energy, they hear power. Now, the administrative power play that we have seen happen in the power sector, talking about NBET, NEC, basically all the agencies and the departments we have seen under the power sector, we have seen some of the issues that have come up recently. Do you think that needs to be addressed before plans like this can significantly make impact?
To announce dream. Then we asked them was, what have you been doing for the past? Where was that dream? You tell us you had a dream when you were taking over. What was your dream? What was that vision? Said, you know what the problem being for the people that what were your positions to solve? That's a very, very that's very specific to speak about. Now, if you appoint me the next president is my friend and president, or just feel because I'm a chair and you feel you want to put me, I'm a lawyer, I can interpret laws better, representation of the national to say power sector in the last 10 years. But these are the ways we believe that we can solve the problem. You're not coming to the office without something. You are coming to the office to say you're going to do these things. And when, in other words, you are working solution. Not coming in to say, okay, what's out of the minister that came to the office, where is me? We don't want people like that.
Adetayo, I'm going to hold you on your thoughts. I'm going to hold you on your thoughts on talking about this administrative situation in the power sector. When we come back from this short break, you conclude on that while we move to the renewable component of this plan, renewable energy component of the Nigerian energy transition plan. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the program will continue. Please stay.
That's great.
Welcome back. If you're just joining the program, this is Business Daily on Trust TV, where we'll bring you all the information you need to know about Nigeria's economy, investment, and also what are the key issues going around in key sectors that affect the economic development of Nigeria. And our focal point today is the power sector, talking about Nigeria's energy transition plan, the first of its kind in Africa. Adetayo Adegbenle, he is my guest, convener Power Up Nigeria. Now, he was speaking to the role of the administrative power play and how that has affected the sector. I think, Adetayo, it's safe to say that you have made quite clear your point on what needs to be done, having the right people man the right offices. Having the right people man the right offices to bring about the needed growth and development we need in the sector. And just as we have seen in the plan, it is expected to bring a huge chunk of investment into the country, into Nigeria. Talking about foreign direct investment, for some years now, we have seen the portfolio part of investment dominate the FDI reports that have come in the country. But having foreign direct investments come into the country, also remittances come into the country, through this plan, that will also play a huge role, talking about over $400 billion, $10 billion annually. Having those kind of investment come into the sector will help solve the perennial challenge that we have seen that has marred the power sector. And transitioning into clean energy, we have the world pushing for a cleaner world. So if we are able to transition into clean energy, that will also help tackle some of these challenges that we have seen come up in the power sector in the recent time. Protecting the environment, some of these are also embedded in the plan. If all this is able to be addressed, we expect that by 2060, Nigeria should be on track with other parts of the world in terms of having a climate-friendly environment, a safe environment that is clean for her citizens and that is clean for Nigerians. That's what we're talking about in the energy transition plan. Also, there's also the renewable component of the energy transition plan, talking about renewable energy, solar energy. A lot of Nigerians, businesses, individuals are also keen into the solar energy aspect of power generation. How can we harness the potentials in the renewable energy value chain? Some have mentioned that renewable energy as an alternative is not as cheap or as affordable as it is expected to be. But if that be the case, what does this plan have to offer for Nigerians? Are we going to see subsidies come into place to ensure that Nigerians can further make use of renewable energy sources, talking about solar energy sources, solar panels. I was having a conversation with an expert in the renewable energy sector, and a lot of business people did speak to me, and they mentioned the fact that it's not so affordable. Talking about the business environment in the country, ease of doing business, how can then affordability come into place, especially for more Nigerians to be able to take use or to be able to make use of the renewable energy sector and benefit from the components. Of course, the sun is free, but how then can we translate that into energy that comes into our homes, energy that helps us run our businesses? I'll take a short break. I'll step on the brakes. When we return, the program will of course continue. Please stay.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
There with us on the program. Now I still have Adetayo Adegbinle with me. He's joining us virtually from Plateau State. Now I want you to speak to the renewable component or renewable energy component of the plan. Just before we went on that short break, I was speaking about how there's been a lot of talk around how renewable energy is not so affordable. Because then again, a lot of people want to make use of an alternative source of power supply. A lot of people want to go off the grid because, of course, a lot of grid collapses that we have seen in recent times. Speak to the renewable component of the energy transition plan and how that would benefit more Nigerians.
All right. We're talking about the administrative end of this.
Okay, we have it. Okay. Okay, great.
Consistency in the before the advent of this trade where they have been putting things into place, trying to for beef for the energy sector. So a lot of things that we've getting commodities importers and everything. We don't produce it, we don't manufacture, The first action of this so we want hello,
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you, Adetayo. I'm with you.
All right. Drive the implications of putting that tariff as to 25 VAT on, yes. and you know, they of course they're able to UT and 0% MD and 5% but for an industry not for the heat plant on, we can't afford to have
Adetayo.
it continues to have
Adetayo, if you can hear me, time is really not on our friend most times on the program, but the conversation is ongoing. I just want you in 30 seconds to quickly just wrap up your thoughts. Of course, we'll continue to monitor the plan and have you some other time to speak on it.
it can be achieved to put all the right building blocks in place, like pillars, and we can all have it's a very ambitious and very achievable.
Thank you so much, Adetayo Adegbenle. He is the convener, Power Up Nigeria, speaking to us on the energy transition plan and some of the benefits to the Nigerian economy and, of course, Nigerian citizens. Thank you for joining us from Plateau State. Of course, we will continue to X-ray this conversation and bring up developments. It's an ongoing conversation. 2060, how far so far? We'll continue to look at that. And now, talking about creating a clean environment, UN member states recognize the need to substantially reduce the number of deaths and illnesses from hazardous chemicals and air, water and soil pollution and contamination by the year 2030, as well as reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of cities, including paying special attention to air quality and municipal and other waste management by 2030. Clean air is important for the health and day-to-day lives of people, while air pollution is the single greatest environmental risk to human health and one of the main avoidable causes of death and diseases globally. Air pollution disproportionately affects women, children, and other persons and also has a negative impact on ecosystem. Now, this year's theme for the International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies is the air we share, focuses on transboundary nature of air pollution, stressing the need for collective accountability and action. And in line with transitioning to clean energy, it is essential that the air we breathe is clean. We have seen the situation of black soot in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, a lot of outcry from Nigerians. As Nigeria plans to transition to clean energy, to have a cleaner environment, let's ensure that the air we share is clean and Nigerians are in good health. Of course, a healthy population can only create wealth. My name is Christiana Amodu Otinya. Thank you always for investing your time with me on the program. This is Business Daily, and this is where we draw the curtains. Continue to stay safe.